Let me know, we can just use the strip bank, whatever's easier.
And you
Just something to throw some light on her.
are, oh my God, hold on. Okay, you're live on YouTube and not Facebook.
All right, we're live on YouTube, but not Facebook. So I'm gonna give all the secrets now. Oh, I was gonna drop off so Facebook didn't get anything. All right, so we're live, guys. Welcome to On Set. I'm Daniel Norton. This is Dave. We have Vilma.
Vilma.
Vilma. Over here is our model. She's a ham, so get ready for that. And Seth on the Mighty Mixer over there. So if you guys don't know, we stream these now when I would do them. So on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. So you could watch it at either one of those places if you didn't want to come in or you couldn't come in, you were on a date, right? Maybe you're getting married. Maybe you're, I don't know, where else would you be? At the movies. You can watch from there.
That's the only option.
Anyways,
That's it.
you could be at the gym. That's a good idea. Yeah, but you could just go to the gym after. That's no excuse not to come here. It doesn't depend. If you're going to go to the gym after. You come in. They could stream at the gym though. So if you want to start streaming at the gym, please do that. I'm sure people at the gym are very interested in this. Anyways, this is Advanced Flash. So you've been promoted. If you didn't come to basic class last week, you just got promoted anyways. So it's like the modern school system. We just boom, right up next to the level. So we're going to talk about using the flash a little bit more. We're not going to, we'll create some photos here, but we're going to talk more about the technical of like what we're doing and kind of how to create some different effects. I just want to say, because we've encountered this when we do our critique, that sometimes people, am I signaling? Nope, that person I'm thinking of is not here. No, but sometimes people use the techniques, but they don't really use it for a reason. They're just using it, right? So this isn't about like, oh, it's cool, so we do it. Like I use gels or I use MULTIPOP. You find a place where it actually makes sense in your work, and then these techniques will really shine. Do them to learn them, I suppose. But if you want a finished photo, like to really get a finished photo, you want to like come up with a concept that actually suits the technique that we're going to go through. So that's my advice I give at the beginning. I will try to say everything I'm using as I go, but I often forget after the first minute, right? I never get through the whole thing, right, Winters? But if there's something I'm using, you want to know what it is, please ask. I will tell you. I will answer your question right now. Yes, you can do it with your stuff. So yeah, I'm using the equipment that I use. Most equipment, as long as it has the same general function, will do the job. You don't have to have the exact same camera, the exact same lens to do a lot of these things. So I'm using the Hasselblad X1D with a 90mm lens on it. We are tethered into my MacBook. So we're tethered, which means that when we shoot our photos, you'll be able to see them immediately. This is super useful. I recommend it whenever you're standing in front of a bunch of people at Adorama presenting. Or just in photo shoots in general, when you might have a client there, right? Because your computer screen is going to be really, really accurate, and it's going to show the client exactly what they're getting. So if you're making a portrait, you're making product photography, they can look right at it, and you make that clear to them. You're looking at the photo now. Like, so if you say you like it, right? Because this is in the back of the camera where you can't really tell. This is the photo, and we're looking at raw files. We can make adjustments to them. So being tethered is really useful. The software I'm using is called Focus, which is specific to Hasselblad for tethering. Generally, when we're not using Hasselblad, we use Capture One. So Capture One is available, I believe, here at Adorama if you'd like to buy it. And you can also kind of tether into Lightroom, but not really. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, we got the camera, we got the model. We're going to talk about flash, so we're going to get right into it. So the main reason why I would suggest that you use flash as opposed to, let's say, available light or constant light sources, which we will use a little bit today, is control, right? Flash by its nature is very, very powerful relative to constant light sources, meaning that we can overpower and effectively remove the constant light from our space pretty simply with flash. That gives us a lot of control. Once we can remove the light that's in the space, then we can do whatever we want, right? Of course, it's also scary, right? Because then it's all on you, right? Because if I set this flash up and it looks terrible, well, no, exactly. So that's why I have Dave do it. Anyways, so we're going to start off just by getting a basic exposure and kind of showing you how that's done. Again, we have the Hasselblad. We're going to set our camera so that none of the light in the space is going to affect our shot, right? This is a little bit basic. I do this every time, but I do it every time. The way we're going to do that is we're going to set our ISO at the lowest kind of normal ISO for our camera, so within the normal range of ISOs. In this case, I believe it's 100. Most cameras it's around 100. Some cameras the base is 200. With that person comes to every open shoot, but most people it's 100. You know, you may be able to go lower. Like I know I've got a Nikon 810. It goes to low 0, which is ISO 32 or something. Don't do that. You want to be normal within the normal range, or low within the normal range, I should say. Then you're going to set your shutter speed at the maximum speed at which your camera syncs with the flash normally. In this camera, it's 2,000th of a second, but that's not that common. So I'm going to set it at 250 because that's kind of the more common place that people sync. Then the third factor is your aperture, right? We need to set our aperture. What do we want to set our aperture at? I don't know, right? You want to set your aperture so that the room is dark. So you can use the meter in your camera as one way to do it, to kind of figure out, hey, the meter says I should be shooting it at f4, so maybe I'll shoot it at f8, you know, that kind of stuff to make it darker. Or you can use a handheld light meter, like I have here. This is a Sekonic L308X-U, 56438. No, it doesn't have those other names. Okay, it's not a Canon lens. All right, so anybody with a Canon lens gets that joke probably. All right, so I'm going to set it on ambient, and basically I'm setting in my ISO. I'm going to set my shutter speed, and we can see now. I haven't taken a reading yet. Actually, I'll do it first. I'm going to put it in front of where my subject would be. Typically, you want to point it at the lights, but in this case, there's lights everywhere, so I'm just going to point it towards the camera. I'm going to get a base reading there. Okay, so at 250th of a second, that's all the light that's in this room, right? 0.5 of a stop. So I could be almost anywhere, really. I mean, you have to take into account dynamic range of your camera. So I want to be underexposed, but I don't need to be crazy underexposed. So that tells me that I can set it, I don't know, like around f5.6, and we'll take a shot, right? One of the advantages of being tethered is once we make a photo at f5.6 at 250th of a second at 100 ISO, and we can look at it, right? And we're not looking at the back of our screen. We're looking at the computer. So I can also check my Facebook. So here I am, and I'm going to look at it. I am going to quickly look at my exposure here. Get a little exposure doodaddy. Oh, it's already messed with for some reason. I'm going to bring it up a bit to see if I start to see the photo. You know how like if you underexpose a photo sometimes and you're in Photoshop and you're like, this photo's dark. So you grab your little exposure slider to bring it up. That's essentially what I'm doing. And you can clearly see that even by bringing it up 2 full stops, you don't see anything, right? She's not there, which means that none of the light in the space is affecting my shot, right? I know I haven't done the flash yet at all, right? I'm getting there. So basically, I have 2 stops at least to move around as far as my exposure. And the reason why it's important to give yourself enough space there is because later on you might want to go in Photoshop and tweak it a little bit or whatever, and you want to give yourself some space so that you're not going to bring up the ambient light in your shadows. So now that we're there, the next step is to get a flash exposure. So again, you might be thinking, hey, that's really dark, so why am I here? I'll explain. So we've got our flash. Did we decide to just use a bare head? Okay, that's fine.
We can do, I have.
An umbrella, okay. So we have an umbrella.
Yeah.
This is a Profoto B1X. It's a monolight, battery-powered monolight.
This is a.
That's a glow umbrella. It doesn't actually glow. I'm not quite sure why they call it that. Maybe the light glows when they...
It's a decent sized umbrella.
No, it's definitely a decent sized umbrella. I actually have this backwards. Dave had it the right way, as always. All right. So we're going to shove the umbrella into the umbrella area, and we're going to basically light her up. Now, I could light her any way, which way that I want, but an umbrella is a nice, good tool. We can kind of point it at her and get what we're going to get. Yeah, there you go. That's close enough. Large light source. This tripod is somebody's asking online what the tripod is. This is the Manfrotto 055 Pro, I think. It's the not carbon fiber one. So I guess aluminum. Oh, set the video on these light meters. So you can check it out on what, Facebook?
Yeah.
Check it on there on Facebook. Okay, so we've got this set up. This flash actually has in it something called TTL. So TTL is through the lens metering, right? That means that the flash itself, in conjunction with the camera, can set its own exposure, in theory. So, or I could use a light meter, which I just used a minute ago. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Since we're advanced, let's use the light meter because it feels more advanced to have an extra piece of equipment, right? Normally you want to wear this like on a cord around your neck.
Actually took it off.
Yeah, so you can like look, like you know what you're doing. All right, so I'm going to put this into non-cord flash mode, which I do by going here. All right. I'm going to set my 250. All right. So here I am. I'm set to go. I don't think it's in focus. There it is. You can see I'm set 250. The set's holding my hand. Set 250, 100 ISO. There we go. Okay. 250, 100 ISO. I don't know my aperture yet because I'm reading the flash, which of course has not fired, right? So we're going to fire the flash. Yeah, I'm going to point the meter. Oh, you stay. Don't worry. I'm not dangerous. Yeah. All right. I'm getting 5.68, so almost f8. Now at this point, if you were lazy, you could just say, well, I'll just set the camera at that. Because I can't go more open than 5.6. I couldn't go to like f4, right? Because that we already know that might bring some light from the space in the shot. But anywhere 5.6 or better I could do. But I like 5.6 as a number. It's like 5.6, 7.8, you know, that kind of stuff.
5.68?
We're 5.68, so we'll come down almost a stop. Dave's going to use the controller to do that, or he's going to walk over to it, I guess. Or he's going to put it on the right channel.
Yeah.
All right, Dave's setting it on the right channel. Apparently your stuff has to be on the same channel for it to work. I don't know. What's up with technology these days?
Should be on channel 3, right?
Yep. All right, that's all set. All right, so I'm going to, you moved. All right.
Be back.
Okay. 5.62, let's give it a little less.
Where's that?
A little low. Come up a little more. No, it's going down.
It's not that. Oh, I'll say you're in second curve, but I'll get you back. Are you saying
That shouldn't matter for the
I'm
meter.
low on power?
Yeah, your power is too low. There we go. There you go, 5.6. It's a 5.6 if you don't believe me. I'm just going to keep doing that out of focus so you guys can't tell. Now, in theory, we have a correct exposure. So now we can like take a break, have lunch, whatever. No, but we'll take a shot. We're going to look at it, right? The meter is only going to tell us what it thinks is the right exposure. We got to still evaluate it. So let's take a peek. Make a photo of that. Questions so far? This part's pretty basic, I guess. 15 minutes from now, somebody's going to ask me a question about what I'm doing right now. So,
Blink.
oh,
you got it.
oh,
Okay.
look at that.
It was rear curtain. So.
All right, they should go.
All right, thanks for coming. Every time, right? All right, so there we go. So that's a pretty decent shot. Her neck hurts. You know, she's lit up. We're gonna go over here. Let's go to white balance and set it. What is that? 55. Oh, that seems right. Okay, let's set it at 6,000. She seems a little warm to me, but I don't really care about that. Again, I have a raw file, so I can do what I want. We'll leave it there. All right. Now she's exposed, right? Simple as that. We can use multiple flashes. One question we get a lot of, so we'll do right now, is how do I set up my second flash, right? Daniel, I watch all these, you set up the flash, and then you like go away, and you don't explain the rest of it, right? I lost YouTube.
Okay.
I guess the Facebook people were the smarter ones all along. All right, good. There you go. I'm sorry for bashing you, Facebook. All right, so let's add a second flash.
Get back on YouTube.
All right, we're back on YouTube. Welcome back, YouTube. So here I am. This is the ProPhoto D2. This one is an AC powered light, so I got to plug it in. Lucky for me, I have a place to plug it in right there, although there's black tape over it for some reason. I mean, normally if you see a plug and it's covered, you probably shouldn't use it, but you know, this is New York, we do what we want. All right, so I plug this in, turn it on. This is 3A, I don't want it to be A. What is that one, B?
A.
That's A? Okay, well I definitely don't want this to be A then. All right, this is gonna be C. It should be B, I guess. B, right? Yeah, this is B. 3B. Try that. Huh, nice. All right. Okay, so this is going to give her a separation light. All right, so we're gonna measure this light. Okay. Are you in your spot?
Yeah.
I don't think she is. Vilma is a mover. You tell me if she moves. All right.
They say in the molecule moving, does that change the exposure? exposure, put some tape on the floor.
Right. Does the model keep moving, change the exposure? Yes, it does. Model. But she keeps going back to the same place because she's a dancer and she knows where she stands. She's very much aware of her space. But yes, one of the most sought after traits of all things that when you're looking for a model is one that can stand in the same spot. Seems crazy, but I'll tell you, after shooting years and years of catalog, the fact that like a third of the pictures are out of focus because the model keeps moving is a problem. So yeah, models that stay in one spot are very useful. All right, so let's get a reading just of this light. This is we're gonna match them, right? I want this one to also read 5.6. That's how we're gonna start. So I'm gonna take the meter, and I'm gonna point it at this light, and Dave's gonna fire it to 2.83. So I need about almost 2 stops. 5, 6, 7. I'm just making up things. Don't worry about it. 5, 6. There we go. Now, our lights are set evenly. If you are learning, and we are, right? It's a good idea to shoot each light separately to see what it looks like. So let's just shoot that light, because we can do that. We have that power, right? Uh-oh.
Knowledgeable, highly skilled photographer, pointless chatter.
Indeed. All right. There we go. Perfect. Now her hair is lit. Now in Photoshop, what you're going to do is take these 2 pictures, and you're going to stick them together. No. All right, so this looks good, right? So if we're happy with what the hair looks like, I think we are. Are we happy? You happy with the hair? I'm asking you specifically.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. All right, you seem like that you know a lot about hair. Yeah. So this looks good. What's that?
Second curtain.
Oh, you want to change the second curtain? Yeah, you got to do it in the menu. By the way, this is the first time in my life I'm actually reading a manual. You got to go into the menu. Oh, probably because we're tethered, we can't do it.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
There's an option.
You got to go here. So basically, I'm changing to first curtain sync, which we'll talk about in a minute. I added on rear curtain because I felt like it. There we go. Good. All right. So basically, I'll explain that now since I just did it. When you fire your flash, you kind of have 2 options. I'm sorry to sidetrack, but since I just went off course anyways, because I'm usually dead on course always. Your flash can either fire at the beginning of the exposure or the end. And why you would do one or the other, we'll talk about in a little bit, but that's what we just changed. We're making it now fire at the beginning of the exposure. I mean, frankly, at 2/50th of a second, there's really not really a difference. But if we like it at the end, the beginning, Dave likes to be proper. Okay, so now both lights are up. They're both reading 5.6 independently. If you want, and if you're in a small space, especially if you have low ceilings or whatever, it's a good idea to remeter the front light again, just to make sure. But we're not going to do that because Dave's already shooting picture. Because he's got elbows going and stuff. And questions? No. All right, boom. All right, perfect. So now we've got 2 lights going on. What's wrong here, Winter?
No, you're all right. Like you.
Okay, what? She doesn't like that highlight on the side of her head. Why didn't we have that in the first picture?
The hair.
That's right, because her hand wasn't up, right? So we need to be aware. I think I just deleted all those pictures. So we need to. So,
They were not the highlight.
yeah, we hated those pictures. They are gone now. No, I didn't. I'm just messing with you. These guys are giving me a hard time today. All right, so, okay.
Post wrap up.
All right, let's try it without your hand pushing your hair forward.
Also, I want to move that light a little bit.
And we're gonna move the light because it's in the shot.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
and it's clear.
it's flaring. It's in the shot. It's hitting her in the side of the head. Now, if we like that, let's say Winter was like, no, I like that it's hitting her in the back of the head like that, all shiny. But it's overexposed, then we can just adjust our exposure. But I think we don't like it at all. And by we, I mean me. So we're gonna change that. I didn't delete the pictures, of course. There we go. Yep, all right, we got a blink going on there. The best part about being tethered is every single photo gets seen. Isn't that the best? All right, so, all right, now she's got her hair lit up. She's got some 3-dimensionality. That all looks fine. She's really close to the background, so we're not lighting the background separately, but we could. We need another light, though. Oh, I have an A1.
You do?
So, I've got a, no, you're good. I'm gonna walk around randomly. You never have to get out of the way. This is a ProPhoto A1. If you didn't know that, they stuck stickers all over it. It's like, obviously you think somebody's gonna steal it. I'm borrowing this from Seth for a minute. This is basically their little tiny light. It works in the same system, so if I just turn this bad boy on, and I set it, and forget it, like appeal. All right, good. This one, I'm gonna make this one C. Now, the reason why I'm making certain things, certain letters, is because I want to remember later on which light is which, right? If I just randomly pick up a light and go, well, that one was set on F or Q or, I don't even go there, then I'm not gonna remember later, right? Always my key light is A, right? Always my separation lights are gonna be B, and my background lights are C. If I use 10 lights in the background, they're all gonna be C, usually. So basically you wanna have a system. You can do it however you want. If you want your key light to be C, that's fine. But always do it the same. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. So we're just gonna do a quick shot, so I'm just gonna literally hold it in my hand. Yeah. I don't think I'm in the shot when I do this, right? Oh, but I am blocking the hair light.
Yeah. You want to zoom it? Or?
Yeah, I will zoom it because it's actually in the wide section. You can zoom it by spinning it manually like this, which I just did. So when you zoom the head, it changes the angle, right? The angle of coverage.
Oh yeah, that's going to be. Now, do you feel like we should meter that?
Good thing Dave's here. All right, we're gonna meter it. I was actually thinking we'd use TTL for this one, but let's not do that because it might be complicated. Although this is the advanced flash class. So let's do
I
that.
like keeping to one.
Oh, I know, no, Dave says not to change it. All right.
For your own consistency.
All right, so yes, it's true. We shouldn't be messing with it. All right, well, I'm going to meter this. Again, we want 5.6. That's 8.3, so I need to down a stop. 5, 6.5. All right, that's good. All right. So here I am holding the flash, as always. All right, and now we've got a light on the background, right? So now we're able to separate our lights, right? So basically we've got, now, once you have all three of your lights up, now's when you want to make your final choice, right? I'm going to look at this, I'm going to go, is that hair light too subtle now? Or maybe it's too much. Is the key light properly exposed? Like we want to play around with our overall exposure now that all three lights are set where we want them, right? Don't spend a whole lot of time tweaking your lights until you get all of them in place, because adding lights, you're amazed how I got it right behind her head. I know, it's impressive. So, just point it at the wall. So basically, now we're there, right? So we can tweak as we need. I think this actually looks pretty good, so I'm not going to, but let's say we want more hair light. Let's just give it like half a stop or something. So bring our hair light up. I will never get it perfect again. You know that. He's looking at me like, you're not going to get it perfect, and then that's all going to be funny. My arm's in the shot. Okay. Maybe my arm wants to be in the shot. All right. There we go. Perfect as usual. So there we go. All right, so we added it a little bit.
You're arrogant.
All right. Now we added a little bit more hair light. Now she's got a little more separate. That actually does look a little bit better, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. He's happy with it. This guy in the front row is heckling me. He's like, giving me a hard time. All right, so questions about that? That's pretty, it's not the most basic. That was last week. That's like how you set up your flash, right? Meter each one separately. Get each one set the way you want it. Shoot them together. Make final adjustments. Make your final photo. Done, right? Collect your check.
So
Now,
they're asking
question.
How would you position C-stand so they don't fall down?
How do you position a C-stand so it doesn't fall down? Okay. So basically, are they calling out that this one's wrong?
No.
Okay. So basically, when you're using a C-stand, by the way, this is a C-stand. I'll go into C-stands for a second because that has a lot to do with this. So C-stand's got a couple of components here. This one's backwards. I'm not going to blast you with light yet, so don't worry. All right, so when you have a C-stand, I don't know how much of this you can see, you got 3 legs, right? The long leg needs to go, the weight of the light, or whatever, needs to be over the long leg. So in the case of, right now it's just in the center, so it doesn't really matter. I usually put it forward. That's pretty much my standard position. If you have something like an umbrella where the weight of it is away from your subject, you're going to put it that way, right? The weight should be over the long leg. Also, the sandbag should be on this leg. even if the light is on this side. The sandbag should be on this side. That's how you do a C-stand. When you're standing behind, thank you. Oh, thanks, Dave. When you're standing behind the C-stand, as I often do, first of all, put one foot up, hand on the hip, right? So you want to make sure all your little knobs are on your left, all your big knobs are on the right. That means that everything's going the right direction. There is a whole clockwise, counterclockwise screw thing. I don't know what it is, but that's how you do it. What that means is that when I bring my arm out, if I don't tighten it down all the way, the pressure of it moving will tighten it. If you go the other way, it will loosen it, and then it'll fall, and that'll be terrible. Nobody wants that, especially if it's rental gear. And then you have to be like, oh, no, it was like that when I got it. Yeah, you know, which people do. All right, so that's how you use a C-stand. That was a little segue to nothing. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about using some of the other functions of the flash. Let's mix it with the environment. I think that's something I started to do last week for some reason, even though it wasn't basic, and then we got off course. So this is great, right? Here you are. Actually, if you're about to open a portrait studio, you're done. That's it, go make money. That's it, that's all you need. No, but if you want, right, so here we are. I mean, this works no matter what. You want to be F11, do the exact same thing, but F11, right? You understand the concept. But a lot of times, we're going to want to mix our flash with other things. Whether those things be an environment, like I happen to be on a location, maybe I'm a wedding photographer or a news photographer or shooting portraits on location for something, right? I'm shooting at your dance recital. Is that what you call it? Or is that just for children?
Theater for the
Theater.
my last performance.
Yeah, performance in theater. I don't know, what's it called?
Theater Sandman. The performance or the theater?
What would you call, okay, good.
Sandman.
Sandman. All right, so let's say we're at Sandman, which is a pretty decent bad guy for Spider-Man, right? He gets beat the same way every single time. It's like, put cement in there, you're done, right? So anyways, right, that's basically Sandman. So, but you're probably talking about the evil creature that puts it, okay. Anyways, we're at the recital, we want to shoot around the location, maybe that's where we're at, right? Wherever we are, we're gonna want to mix our light sometimes. And the way that you do that is you have to kind of think of it as kind of two parts. Remember how I set up each one of these lights separately? That's essentially what you're gonna do. You're gonna set up your camera exposure for the light in the space first, right? So let's say that we're here. Yeah, I guess we'll be in Adorama, why not? We're in Adorama, this is your performance. You get to be here with me. All right, so here she is. It's a bit of a downgrade after being on Broadway, but you know, you're at Adorama now, we take whatever jobs we can. You're gonna look towards Dave because we like the front of your face. So we want to make a photo in the space, right? If we were to shoot exactly the way we are right now, let me turn the flash off first and do it.
Yeah.
So at our settings, our current settings, 250, 100 ISO, f5.6, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be dark back there, right? Yeah, it's pretty dark. What's that? I will move the stand. I'm notorious for putting this stuff in front of the cameras. That's why paparazzi can never find me. All right, is that good? All right. Now, if you go into the theater show to shoot Sandman and you take this photo, it's probably not going to do very well, right? We want to see the space more. So how are we going to get that exposure? We could open up our lens, right? And we might actually do that a little bit. Maybe we'll go to like f4 or something. But see here, you're in a space, right? When we're shooting against a plain background, it was very much a mechanical decision for me. I only wanted to get rid of the light in the space because, so I didn't really care what my aperture was on a lot of levels, right? It doesn't really matter to me. I wasn't trying to do anything fancy with it. I was just eliminating the space. Now, I have you guys back there, right? Maybe I don't want you to be super sharp. Maybe I want you to be really sharp. I have to make that choice. We're going to say 3-2. We're going to go more out of focus because people love those little dots in the background when you have shallow depth of field. A request for gels. We'll do gels for sure. Okay, now we're at 3.2. We're getting a little bit of light back there. It's still not that much. So we have a couple of options. We can either go higher on our ISO, or we can go slower, I should say, on our shutter speed. Or a little bit of both, which is I think what we're going to end up doing. Because ultimately, we don't want to go too slow on the shutter, because then she might be blurry, right? So maybe we'll go to like a 30th. Yeah, she's pretty good at standing still. We found that so far. Right? All right, all right, it's getting there, right? I mean, she looks not great with the light, but the store is all we care about right now. I think it's still a little dark. Where are we at now?
We can go. We can slow down a little bit more.
All right, yeah, Dave thinks he can do it. He's like, I'm confident that she'll stay still. What are you gonna do, eighth?
15.
A 15th. We're going to a 15th of a second. Now, I do advise when you're doing this part of it, you don't need the person to be standing there when you're doing it. So when you walk into the space, do this first, right? Don't get your actor waiting for you while you're doing it. I can do that because that's what she's here for. It's a class. But if you're going to photograph somebody, you don't want them to get tired standing there while you're figuring out your light. Just shoot the space. It doesn't really matter. That's actually not too bad. And we're noticing, too, that some of the lights, we're very fortunate that we happen to have nice lights here for some reason. I don't know why, maybe because we're in a position. But some of it's hitting her, giving her a little bit of hair. Look for that, right? If you're in an office and there's like an overhead light and you can position the subject to give you a little hair light action from it, why not use it, right? It's there. So we'll do that a little bit, right? We're getting a little bit of that in there, but we also have to be cautious because it's hitting the side of her face, right? So we want to make sure that she's not going to get so much of that light on her face. Maybe she has to take a step forward or something. Take a step forward. Good. Right? We want to minimize that. We want to get it on her hair, but we don't want to get it on her face, right? And she's a dancer. She's going to move around. We know that, right? I mean, if we know she's going to be very stiff, then it's different. But we know you're going to move because you've got a lot of energy. She had a power bar before we started. Maybe she had a power bar. I really actually don't know that. Okay, good. That's really good. Thanks for coming, guys. Okay, so what do we have here? The background is kind of interesting. Now, we also have some choices to make here before we go any further with the flash. Do we like the color of the background, right? Because the background, our camera right now is set to flash exposure, white balance, I should say. So the background's kind of a greeny orange. Personally, when I'm inside, I like the backgrounds to go warm, and it's my class, so that's how we're gonna leave it. But if you like the background to be more neutral, then what you're gonna have to do is make sure that you white balance with the background and then adjust your flash with gels, which we could do as a separate thing. But we'll start this way. So we have the flash, and we're gonna now light her with it, right? Let's use the umbrella. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just move, exactly. So Dave's gonna move the light in, kind of central, right? In this case, we don't want the light to look too, we don't want it to look overly lit per se as far as where we're gonna position our lights, right? We're shooting somebody in kind of a naturalistic way because we're showing the background. So we're not gonna go too crazy with the light. We know that in an environment like this, the light's gonna be kind of, you know, coming from above, so we have the light slightly up. We're gonna put it in front of her so we know it's relatively even on her. And we'll just see what it looks like. We can adjust from there, but I think kind of, this is like a giant on-camera flash. Kind of. Yeah, I can hold it if you like.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm all kinds of stuff over here. All right, so we're set at a 15th of a second. And here we go. Boom. 4.09, so almost 5 seconds. Maybe give me a tenth, then we'll do it. Or just leave it.
No, we're at 3.2 now.
Oh, you're at 3.2. Oh, too much power. That's right, we opened up. I'm so used to never changing the camera. 4.03. 288, so I think we gotta go a little bit more. 3.2 is like 2.8.5, I guess, roughly. Yeah, 2.86, that should be good. We'll try that. All right, so now we're matching the light, right? Because our camera's already set. Whenever you're using a flash, we're gonna adjust our flash to match what we're setting our camera at, right? Make sense? Cool.
What is the lighting mix?
Oh yeah, she looks very concerned there. Look less concerned.
It's the sand.
The Sandman's coming. All right, so, yeah. So here we are. This is a properly balanced exposure, right? She's got a bit of a hair light going on. She's got flash making her properly exposed, right? And it doesn't look like too out of place. We didn't go too nuts with the light, right? But keeping in mind that, you know, this is without the flash, right? That's what we did. Now, somebody's gonna say, hey, I just have a flash on my camera. Is it gonna be exactly the same? No. Why? Yes, the technique is the same, but the flash on the camera is much smaller. It's gonna be much more harsh. This is a big old umbrella. So keep that in mind. If you want the light to look soft and nice, you're going to want to use a large light source, which we've gone over in a billion different classes, so we're not getting too much into that. But that's basically the concept. Does that make sense? Yeah. What, the power of the light?
Yeah. If you wanted to like blend it more or whatever.
You could do that, right? You could adjust to taste at this point, right? If you feel like she still looks a little too flashed, then you could bring the power down a bit, whatever. I think the exposure looks fine, though. What I would like to do is see her move, though. All right, there you go. So they've dropped the exposure a tiny bit.
More natural for the.
Yeah, so it's more natural for the space. It looks a little bit less lit. At this point, I mean, it's perfectly balanced now for the space, so if you felt like it was a little bit dark or light or whatever, you could basically adjust the whole thing. This is probably where I would use ISO. It's the simplest way to do it, because if you adjust your ISO, then nothing else is really going to change. So if we felt like, let's say it was a little too bright, we could give ourselves a little bit less ISO or a little bit more. That's usually where I would use that. Now, we have that, right? But she's at a 15th, or no, an 8th? A 15th. And she's a dancer. So maybe I want to make it a little more interesting, right? Maybe I want to make it a little bit more fun. Maybe I want her to move a little bit. And I know that at a 15th of a second, she'll likely pick up some blur from the lights, right? That's probably going to happen. So let's see. What if you were to like, yeah, right? Yeah, if you could like flourish, right? Right, so she's flourishing. All right, well, maybe not that, but okay, yeah, let's try again. Well, probably the most obvious place that you're going to see it is in your hair, so maybe you could do something like,
Okay.
yes, how's that? Good. Okay, almost. Hairpin trigger, we'll try it again. There we go. But we can see, even with her moving, and you can see she's flourishing quite a bit. At a 15th, it's blurry, right? We can see it's blurry there. You can actually see the line where the flash is hitting her and not the ambient light. See that? So we don't have a whole lot of ambient light hitting her, to be honest with you. It's all behind her. So that's interesting, right? That means that she's not going to really, in order to get movement, we need to move what's lit. The simplest way to do that might be to move the camera, right? Because if we move the camera, the lights in the background will move, right? So let's try that. So you remain still, like a sandman. And Dave will flourish with the camera. Right. Well, okay. Well, that's definitely a flourish.
That was a lot.
Maybe just a. Maybe do a side to side. Do a little more. No, I like that. It's good. You're very creative. There we go. All right. We can see now by moving the camera, you get a lot more movement, and you can actually see, the blurs from the Canon sign back there. It makes it almost like a laser. But her eye is sharp because she didn't move much. Plus the flash hit her, right? The flash is going to freeze her. So let's take this moment, of all moments, to talk about flash duration. Okay, this is going to become relevant as we start to move through this exercise, right? When your flash fires, it only fires for a very, very short amount of time. That time is called the flash duration. There's a T1, T5 thingy, and we're not going to talk about that. That's the super advanced class. Just know that flash duration is basically how long it's flashing for. Why is this relevant? Well, it's usually really, really short. Like in the case of this light, you can go as short as a 20,000th of a second, right? And if none of the light in the space is truly affecting your shot, that effectively becomes your shutter speed. So that's how you stop things like splashes and stuff. You remove all the light from the space and you hit it with a flash that has a tremendously short duration, right? That allows us to shoot at ISO 100, and really get the best quality versus trying to shoot really super fast shutter speeds in the case of using ambient light. But here we're mixing the light, right? So while it's almost two exposures, we have this really short flash duration freezing her, and then the rest of the exposure is the camera moving is exposed by everything else, right? Does that make sense? So that's that. let's do something. Let's make it a little bit more dramatic by adding, you want to move back over here? Yeah. Let's get a little more control going on. Not that you guys aren't a beautiful background, but let's put it back against the background again. It's about to get crazy. You ready? All right, so now we're gonna work with that idea, right? We like the idea for moving, but we don't have as much control when we're just kind of using the light that's in the space. Are you stealing a chair? They're $5. No, you can come right up front. That way I'll call on you constantly. There you go. All right. All right, so let's add a light to her. Let's do kind of what we did before. We'll use our flash. Yeah, let's give us a little more control. We're gonna switch to a strip bank. So strip bank is gonna give us more control. We wanna keep the light off of, let's say, the background, because we're gonna light the background. That's the plan, yeah. Let's maybe put like a slash on the background and then you can move it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna put like a light in the background. But yeah,
Oh, like behind her?
like this thing.
We can do that. We'll do both. Let's start with the slash though, since it'll be the same kind of concept. All right, so, because we don't have the data light, right, so we can't do that. All right, so we're gonna basically take this light, which is a constant light source. This is an Array 300 for Nell. That means it's 300 watts. It's basically like a movie light, if you will. These are really nice for certain kinds of portraits and stuff. And they have a lot of control, so we can basically throw light onto the background. And using the barn doors that are on them, we're gonna be able to put just a little bit of light on the background where we want it. And the reason for that is, am I gonna risk this? We're gonna go for another one, right? All right, good. Hasn't blown up yet. All right, so this is called a barn door, right? It's gonna help us control the flow of the light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the light on. It's usually a good idea to let people know you're gonna do that, although I don't see anybody over here, so I'm not too worried about it. All right. And I'm going to basically put this on the background. I'm gonna focus it down a bit, actually. This is a array. What's that? Yeah, you can kill those, thanks, Seth. All right. Seth killed the light. So we're gonna have this strip of light, and basically we're gonna move the camera to create patterns with this, right? That seems like a plan. What do you think? That seems like a plan? She's happy with that. As long as she's happy, that's all I care about. All right. So we want to get an exposure for that first, just like we did in the store, right? So I can just do the light meter. Yeah, can we kill the audience light? That way they can, you guys don't steal stuff when we turn the lights off. All right, you have to tell the New York audience that. I want to go a little slower too. Let's go to 1/4 of a second. That way we have time to move. All right, so I'm going to set my meter at 1/4 of a second. I'm going to go to ambient. I'm going to leave my ISO at 100 for now. I'm just going to read the constant light source, and it's actually telling me it's F8. Oh, wow, okay. So F8. So let's go to F8. Now I'm changing the camera. You'll notice when we do these things, if you've ever been to any of these before, I almost always say, don't change the camera. This is the one time that we change the camera. And the reason why is because we need to work with all these different lights that we don't have a lot of control over. So we're changing it to F8. We're going to make an exposure just for that first to see what it looks like. So no flash, just a constant light. Let's see what it looks like at F8 at 1/4 of a second. Perfect. So if you were doing like one of those 20/20 interviews, like she's given the information, you know, I knew who stole the drugs. All right, so that's that, right? Okay, so that's the back. That actually looks pretty good. Now let's add our flash in. It feels a little big. I'm gonna try to make it a little more narrow. Ah. It gets hot. Yeah, it's good enough. All right, we're gonna add our flash in. We've got a strip bank here, a Profoto strip, RFI strip 1x3 with a grid on it. Yeah, we're gonna turn the lights on so you guys can see me. Don't worry, I'm still here. You were worried. Dave's is back there doing stuff.
So they're asking you to work with tungsten and flash, but you have a tungsten holder or the flash walker.
All right, so there's a question about mixing basically your color temperatures, because we're about to come into that. If you want to match your colors, which I think we will, you want to gel either the tungsten light, which is warm, right? We saw even in that photo how warm it was, or the flash, right? Because if we set our white balance to tungsten, our flash will look really blue. If we set our white balance to flash, our tungsten will look really warm, right? Neither one is wrong, they're just not the same, right? And what we need to do is make them the same, and we do that with a colored gel. So a CTO, which is color temperature orange, will make the blue one, which is the flash, more orange, and a CTB, color temperature blue, will make the orange one more blue. Which one do you do? I usually say the one that is the most powerful is the one that you should gel, because gel is going to eat power, right? Flash is more powerful, so I would gel the flash. I don't know if we're going to do that or not. Maybe we will. We'll see. For this exercise, I don't think it's that important, but why not? Plus, we might actually leave this one that way because we also have an LED, which we can mess around with the color for that too. All right, so Dave's getting the flash all set up to F8. Do you want me to help you?
Probably.
Yeah. Boom. Oh, I'm in the wrong mode. Yeah. Q. 4.2, so give me a couple more stops. So the meter's telling me 4.2, so we're going to add 2 stops of light roughly to the flash. The meter, fire it again, that's 8.5, so a little bit less. It's not an exact science, although it is an exact science. 8.1, perfect. In theory, if you have a pretty accurate flash, like a Profoto is, and once you're set up and you start making adjustments, it'll be pretty accurate just by going up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're doing, are you going to move the camera?
I'm going to just do stationary.
Just take one to see what happens. Okay, we're starting stationary. All right, we're chilling. We're going to take a shot. We're mixing the 2 light sources together, trying to make it look as decent as possible. That looks pretty dramatic for an actress or something. She's like Sandman. Yeah. Bring the power down a smidge. She has that slash going on. Okay, so that looks pretty decent. I think, let's try moving the camera. Maybe move the camera diagonal?
What about rotating?
Rotating. Let's rotate the camera. You mean like a,
Like that?
oh wow. All right. Dave is getting out of control. All right, so here's where, remember I talked about first curtain and second curtain a minute ago? Oh, that's interesting. Interestingly, it's not long enough. See, that's what we'll find as we go. First curtain sync means, which is where we are now, when Dave presses the shutter button, the flash fires. Then the rest of the exposure happens. Whether that exposure is 250th of a second, or it's quarter of a second, or it's 5 minutes, all happens after the flash. Rear curtain or second curtain sync means that oh, look at you. The exposure happens, and then the flash fires, just as the curtain is closing. So both are useful depending on what you want to go on, right? If we do second curtain, then the movement of the camera will happen before the flash fires. It's a little bit trickier sometimes to line stuff up with rear curtain, so I only use it for certain things. It's good if there's lights moving in the shot and you need them to look correct, because if they move through your shot, obviously you want them to, like the most classic example is like a car going by, which you probably shouldn't be flashing cars. I don't know why that's the example everybody uses, but if you would use a car going by and you use first curtain, the car would be frozen and then all the taillights would be in front of it because the exposure happens after. Whereas if you do it at the second curtain, taillights, frozen car. Don't flash a car. All right. Why do they tell people to flash cars? I never understood that. Okay. Sometimes though, and I'll say it's one of those weird things where whenever I'm doing a cool special effect, I'll always try both, because sometimes it just is a little bit different for whatever reason. But usually if I need to line up something really particularly, you want to do first curtain, because imagine this, because this is something that you're probably not taking into account. During the exposure, you can't see through the camera, right? Which means that if you're moving the camera and you fire the exposure and the flash isn't happening until the end, you're moving a camera that you can't see through and then hoping everything's going to line up at the end. So usually it's easier to fire the flash first, but not always. Okay, so that's kind of fun. That was a what? A slashy slash?
Yeah, I went diagonal.
Diagonal. That was a diagonal move, right? We got some of the light kind of went in front of her because of the, because of the nature of the beast. Basically, that light moved in front of her because the camera's moving, right? So that created that. The other thing we could do is move the actual light, right? So I could move the light across the scene. Yeah, hold on. All right, yeah, let's do it. So you're in first curtain, right?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so I moved the light across the scene, nothing happened. No, it did. You can actually see over here, it's a little bit lighter, it's not completely black. I gotta be a little, yep.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I was maybe too slow that time, but see, I'm getting a little better. So in theory, you could light the whole background this way, right? You could basically light paint. If we did a long enough exposure, I could just move the light across until we got the right exposure. As a matter of fact, we could just do a longer exposure. There's no reason not to. Because the flash will stay the same. Let's go to like yeah, let's go to a second. 2 seconds, is that what you said?
I just said do it.
Oh, she said do it. Oh, do you want to move the light?
Sure.
That's good. All right. This is that moment that I'm answering the question that everybody writes to me when they send me private messages. Daniel, how do you get everybody to help you? And I can't find anybody to help me. This lady, she would help you. If she was there, just look for her. Don't burn yourself.
How fast are you going?
1 second.
1 second exposure. You got plenty of time. Don't rush it.
3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh.
Is that too slow?
No, that wasn't bad. Oh, not perfect, but not bad. Try again.
Seems a little low.
Are you changing my stuff?
Yeah.
She's over here adjusting the light.
Okay.
All right, next week she'll be.
They're asking if there's no movement of anything you're shooting, will be a difference in rear or front curtain, like you're shooting product.
Right, so if you're shooting something that's not moving, will rear or front curtain affect it? It shouldn't really. I mean, no. I don't. Yeah, I can't imagine that it would. You know. It really comes down to sometimes you want the flash to fire at the end of the exposure. It doesn't happen that often. Like I said, I generally like to either do first curtain or do it manually, which we'll do in a second. All right, so that's that concept. You got that? You did a good job. Yes. A+. I'll give you a sticker. You can pick up some candy on the way out. All right, so that's whatever, right? Let's get into more funky stuff, right? We're ready for something a little deeper? All right, good. Oh, wow. Who said yeah? Wait, give me a hard time? All right, here we go. So let's put the light on her. Here we go. This is what we're going to do. Actually, this is something where we might want to use second curtain, right? We're going to shine, because you have so much hair. I picked her specifically because of all the hair. I was jealous. We're going to have her look towards the flash. It's going to fire, and then turn and look towards the tungsten light. Okay, it's too far behind you, though, for that to work. Hold on, let me. You probably have to be more. Okay. So again, we need to get it. By the way, I have a pair of gloves for this that are very expensive that I never use. You know what the problem is? It's on the wrong side of her. Can you change your haircut completely? Can you flip it all on this side? She can do it.
She's got her perfect.
No, like more like this. Can you put all this hair on this side of you? There you go. It's a different you now. All right, so look towards the flash. This is the flash. Yep. All right, and then turn towards this light. Let's see what happens when you turn towards this light. Exactly. That should work, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be locked down. We're going to start with first curtain. We should probably do a meter reading because that's how we do it. We're probably going to maybe, yeah, we'll give, I think.
1 second.
Yeah, so I'm 1 second. Oh, actually, hold on, I'm in the wrong mode. By the way, this is, if anybody ever wonders why to get different levels of meter, the more advanced flash meters will read the IME and the flash together. Okay, this is at 16.8. Hold on, the core a second. 1 second. Yeah, I'm at 45, so that's not gonna work. We can't do 1 second. I'll just back it up. I'll use the inverse square law.
That's probably good.
There we go, how's that?
Yeah.
Now feather it. I'm doing all kinds of stuff here. All right. Yeah, you're good. 11. You want more feather?
No.
Okay, now that's good, and then look towards this.
11.
11, yeah, 11.
Let me take a picture real quick.
All right, we're gonna make a photo at 11. Look towards the hot light for me, Vilma. I feel like I'm Dracula saying Wilma. No? Okay. Not every joke can be funny. You gotta give me some, I need some kind of room here. Sorry, I'm sorry, people. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. And she moved and everything. That's advanced, not flash photography. Okay, so that's cool though. That's what we want, but a little more controlled. So you're gonna start with the flash because it's gonna be first curtain. Once the flash fires, you're going to then move to there. Exactly. Try to keep your body more or less in the same spot, but you do have to move slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. You want to let's read the flash, or did you already do that?
Yeah, we should do the flash.
Okay, I'm going to switch to flash mode. Okay.
You want all my hair on the side.
Ideally, yes. So the reason why I want all our hair on this, oh, sorry, say it again. 8-2. The reason why I want all her hair on this side, the reason why I asked for that, it wasn't that I was just being a pain in the butt. 8-9, that should be good. Because we've been a little bit hot every time. So, all right, so we'll do a test shot here. Remember, test everything. So the reason why I put all her hair on this side was because I don't want too much of that hot light hitting her face during the flash exposure. Because remember, it's still going to be enough exposure to expose that part of her face. What I'm trying to do is separate my exposures. The hair is going to block any of the ambient light from hitting her face, or most of it anyways. I mean, some of it will hit her face probably from bouncing around, but not that much. Does that make sense so far? This is very exciting. Do you want to do this one too? Don't be so greedy. That's how she's in the front. All right, there we go. Oh, you just went for it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So here's what we got to do. This is good though. You got to shoot one, right, to get a feel for it. It's pretty cool. What we need though is more separation. So you need to move more with your body. So you're going to take like a step. There you go. That should be better. Right? Yeah, and maybe a little slower.
I'm going to open up a little bit.
And open up.
More slow.
Yeah. What do you mean, like shutter speed was?
She's got to start the hair clear for her face with the flash a little more. Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
let the flash bathes her face a little harder.
Right. There wasn't enough flashing in her face. She pushed too far forward with the hair. I got too excited about that point. So we're going to basically, again, make it two exposures in the same frame, essentially. It's just a long exposure. This is kind of the same as if you were doing a double exposure, except you're going to get the parts in between, right? You could do a double exposure, right? Flash and then do an exposure for the ambient light. And a lot of cameras actually do that in camera. I don't think this one does. I haven't read the book. I don't know if you were there for the beginning of that part. But some of them do. I know the Olympus did because we did that for the... Okay, that's good. So I'm not sure what happened there.
She moved her face too far out of the light.
Yeah, she moved too far out of the light. She's over there somewhere.
This is the flash, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. We'll try it again. It's all about synchronization of movement. Without making a photo, go ahead and look through the camera, and then do the motion, so we can make sure that you're landing in the right spot. Yep. So go ahead and
Hold on, let me just
flash.
back up a bit.
Oh, Dave's going to back up to give more space. Sometimes you want to walk through the process. This is kind of the point of it, right? We're figuring out where she needs to land. Yep. All right, so let's just walk through it though. So go ahead and turn once you get set up,
Okay, so if I flash,
and then turn. Yeah, so she's not getting any ambient light on her hair, so I'm going to move it. There we go.
yeah,
All right,
that's it.
that should be better, right? Again, we're trying to create these two exposures together and get a cool little blur effect. All right. And I'm not going to worry too much about the color. Again, I could match the color. I kind of like that it gets warm. It has a bit of a little tactileness to it, which I like. That's, meaning that I don't want to go get gels. Questions so far? Thoughts, concerns? No, no concerns. That's always good. Oftentimes we get concerns by this point. Yes?
Is there an ideal shutter speed for this right here?
Is there an ideal shutter speed
For this?
for this? Yes and no. Usually longer is better. Longer shutter is going to give you more time to do what you got to do. However, there's going to be a breaking point. We know we can't go too long because already, I bet, some of this light from out here is actually affecting our shot on some level.
That was me. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So basically, you've got to find the point. If you're in a completely dark room, I mean, you could do a 5-minute exposure. I mean, you could take your time. They could just be like, maybe 5 minutes is too long, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay, a little quicker.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as you see it, yeah.
And here we're at 1 second.
Right now we're at 1 second, yeah. And like I said, I'm guessing, we can actually turn this light off after Dave does another one. We'll try to get it. What I actually want to do is,
Yep, that's it.
there you go. That's pretty cool, right? We're getting this blur. I think that's really the key here, right? Is we have this secondary blur. We have this freeze, and then we have this blur, right? So thus they call this pop and blur. However, we could do blur and pop, which is very advanced, and use the second curtain, right? So let's try that. Let's switch to the rear curtain. Did you see how to do it? You got to press the. You want to do it?
Yeah, you got unplugged.
Yeah, you got to unplug and then menu and then it's under exposure. So basically, we're gonna the rear curtain. We're gonna start here, and then she's going to turn towards the flash, and you'll have a slightly different effect, right? Maybe easier, maybe harder. We'll find out next week on. No, we're gonna find out right now because that's how we do it. Okay, so here we go. She's ready. So you're gonna start towards the hot light this time. And it's a 1 second exposure, so you have a second to get over there. So give yourself a little bit of time here,
Okay.
like half a beat. Because you can be like, when you hear the camera or when Dave says go over, give yourself and then turn, and turn relatively fast. The reason why I'm having her do that is because I want this side to be as sharp as possible. The longer she sits here, the sharper this side will be, right?
And you want my hair on the side?
No, it's fine. You can have it wherever you like. All right. You can do like a bun on top of your head. Remember that? Remember when people used to, you know what I'm talking about. So you had your hair like that, you know it. Yeah, she did. She's like, nope. No? Come on. All right. I had my hair like that, I'm sorry. All right, so here we go. Blur and pop. You didn't even know this was going to happen today. Okay. Oh, okay. Something happened there. Maybe you waited a little bit too long on this side. A little bit less.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go.
Again, finessing it, right? We have a dancer here in Vilma, so she's going to be able to turn like that. This one's a little bit trickier because remember, we're not looking through the camera. We have to just hope that she's going to land. Got our fingers crossed. We're hoping for it. We can't really tell.
A little less.
That's half the fun of it. You know, this is one of those things that's to do it on a person like this is probably never something you're actually going to do in life. But there's times where it might be really cool for certain effects. We actually did Seth shot Boba Fett. You know who Boba Fett is? Yeah, everybody knows Boba Fett. And he used this technique. Did you do rear curtain for that? You don't even remember. But he did it to make a flashlight look like a laser, basically. Yeah, the frozen Boba Fett, and then the light was the flashlight became like a laser. So there are practical ways. Oh, okay. It's just a little hot on that one side. Yeah, we're gonna move it back. I'll use the inverse square law. It's still too strong though. I did the math there. It's still too much exposure. Oh, what's happening? Oh, we're also gonna feather it?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're feathering it. We got a feather and an inverse square going on there.
This guy's
So exactly that one.
he's gonna bootleg you the show back there.
Maybe. Sell them in Chinatown, videotapes. All right. So, they open up the DVDs on the ground. You know you bought those. Everybody has to buy one of those. Oh, geez. The spotlight is so bright. All right, here we go. Pop and blur. Blur and pop. Pop. Poppity pop, blur, blur. Here we go. We're ready. We're going to nail this right now because we're about to move on. Moving on. Yep. Well, we haven't even gotten to multipop yet. Yeah, so We're gonna go to multipop next as soon as we get this. So what's cool about this is, okay, this is all fine, and it's cool if you want a certain effect of the blur, but I like to do it using 2 flashes because that gives us like complete control in a sense, right? With the flashes, it's gonna allow us to get her exactly what we want to get. Because you can see, this is not something that is impossible, and you can get a lot of fun effects with this, but it's definitely something that's a little bit more unpredictable unless you're used to working with a certain person or you have a certain look going on. You know, these techniques, there you go. That looks pretty cool. I mean, yeah, you're at the wrong, no, it's perfect. That's rule of thirds done. Okay, so, but let's say, for instance, if we killed this light and instead we used a second flash. Like I have this flash here. Why am I firing the flash? Because I'm in master mode, I think. All right. So I'm going to turn air off. There we go.
Recommendation on the light meter.
What's that?
Recommendation on the light meter.
So recommendation on a light meter.
Watch my video.
Yeah, Seth does a video on this. Basically, I like the what's the one with the middle of the range one, the 478? Yeah, 478. It's really nice. It's not super expensive. It does pretty much what you need it to do. It's nice to have a spot meter. I find I don't use it that much, so I wouldn't pay the extra money for it necessarily unless you think you're going to use it. But I like a 478 is a good one. All right, that should be good. All right, I'm going to use this flash. Yeah, I just flash people. All right, so I've got my flash set up. We're still going to be at 1 second. We're going to use this one as a secondary flash. What's the exposure? 11?
I'm. You're a 9, right? I can do 8. I was set at 8.
Okay. And what was this flash reading? The flash on one? 11.4. Okay.
So we'll go 11.
Okay. This one's actually good then. All right. So we're gonna do a double flash. I'm gonna. Dave's gonna fire. Are you rear curtain?
I'm still ready.
It's probably easier to go first curtain.
Yeah, it is.
Go back to first curtain. Dave's gonna fire the flash. Then she's gonna turn. And when she does, unsuspectingly, I'm gonna flash her again. Right. All right. You're gonna look there, and once that fires, you'll turn towards me and be like, "Whoa."
Okay.
Now, ideally, you should be sad at Dave's light and happy at mine. I'm just saying, you know, if you can. I like the lights go out like we're doing a magic trick. About to pull a rabbit out of my hat.
You want this to work or not?
It's not gonna work. It is gonna work. All right, here we go. Yep, I'm ready. I'm as ready as I'll ever be, which is not very. Why I'm using the A1, I don't know, but it feels good. I have a D2 right there I could be using.
You gotta do something on your own demos, you know?
I was a little too slow.
Slightly too slow.
I was a little bit too slow. I know. It's sad. Everybody's booing and hissing, but hey, how many shots did they get to take? Oh, I get to do another one. All right. You got to turn faster than that. See, I blame the model. Always blame the model. All right, here we go.
And then rotate a little bit more towards me.
Yep.
Not quite so much. But right here.
There's a lot of pressure here. There's a lot of pressure here. I'm going to do this. I'm at 7.3 at this flash, and I'm basically aiming it. I'm kind of trying to aim a little bit on the side of her to get a little bit of a nicer light if possible onto her face, because we'd like it to look nice. By the way, you may notice that the background's completely black, so we're not actually picking up any of that ambient light from the store, which is kind of nice, which is good. I mean, we want to keep this as simple as possible. Here we go, turn, boom. I think I missed it again.
Still missed.
She's turning a little bit too slow. You got to turn as soon as that flash goes off, or you got to give me more time, because I'm literally pushing it as soon as she turns.
Okay. We'll try one more time and if not,
Yeah.
there we go.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Last time. There we go. I got it. All right, there we go. Now, double flash, right? And because of it's out of focus a little bit, but because of flash duration, she's sharp in both areas, right? Even with her hair going, it's kind of nuts. So we could do this to effect. I'm going to not use the A1 because it's easier to use this one, so I have to hold it in my hand. I'm going to switch over to the D2 because it's basically the same thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to fire it a bunch of times, and this flash is much more powerful than that one. So I can crank this thing, because I'm going to actually do a multiple flash, because I'm crazy.
You want to go down X up so we can lower the flat?
No, I don't think we have to. I mean, I'm at 8.8 here, and I'm at 3.4, so I can. What? There we go. All right, here we go. All right, so once she's got, I'm gonna bop, 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 as she comes around. You ready? All right, me too. I love that the light just go.
Come on.
I love that the light just go out. Here we go.
Oh,
What's gonna happen here? I'm about to fire it a bunch of times. Yes, Dave. You only get one flash on yours. Although in theory, oh, okay.
keeping it off the background. as much as
Oh yeah, we're keeping it off the background.
possible. I think you still
Actually,
wanna
Dave's flash could fire more times if there was somebody standing over there.
Just yeah,
Couple with your hand.
I'm cupping it.
I was looking right at it too.
All right.
I hate both of you.
I don't know what's going on over here. All right, here we go. Do not look directly at the flash tube. Do not pass go. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
You had a bunch of a little too.
Oh, too many.
Yeah. They didn't
I want
really-
to. Wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. You are in there a lot.
Yeah.
Can we actually pull? Can you do like a?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now we're doing it. We're getting ready. We got this. Perfect. Spectacular. Fantastical. All right. All right. So I think fewer times. I may have been too many.
Yeah,
I got excited.
we did.
What power is that?
3.4.
Okay, ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Here we go. Ah!
I didn't fire it at all that time because I pressed the wrong button.
You.
Apparently, the on-off button looks exactly like the. All right, here we go. This is my first day. Give me a break.
No,
All right.
yeah.
Turn off the air.
I'm turning off the air.
Or put it on another channel.
Putting on. It's on 3B.
Yes, so put it on channel 4. That way I don't fire it.
Well, I'll turn off the air.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. That was the other problem, right? It was going off with the other flash, which isn't necessarily a problem, but it is for us. I'm cupping. The cup technique. I'm also standing on the C-stand. Pirates do this. It's important never to look at the model when she's doing this because it'll throw off your timing.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And
Huh. Interesting. There you are.
Just have a look at the cameras.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so better than this, let's do this. Look towards my flash. Put your face down like this, and you're going to go, what?
With a hair.
Oh, yeah. You can throw your hair. Why not? I'm just going to do it. So when you just turn on, actually, you can turn, I'll turn the air back on.
I feel like that one.
Dave will fire it the first time when the camera fires, and then I will repeat fire. But let's do a test. What's that?
Yeah, you need a bump on that.
Power.
What do you like, 4 plus?
How's that? Let's do it. We'll do a test shot before we do anything. Let's do one single test shot. So 1 second. I'm in air, so just pop it once.
Can I do this?
Yeah, you can do that if you want. Why not?
It's your world.
Listen, I don't know. All right, cool. There she is. She's happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Okay, there we go. She's exposed properly. She's happy. Oh, did this one not fire?
Fire.
Okay, it just seems very dull. Okay. All right, so you have time. This is 1 second. So start with the chin down, and then incrementally move it up. You're going to go up a little bit. I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to go. All right, I keep pressing on button. So it's going to go up. Boom, boom, boom. Nope. Okay, so oop, oop, oop,
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Okay. Yep.
Like 4 or 3?
We'll do 3 times. I think we can do 3 times in a second, right? We've practiced this a lot. So the first one is when Dave fires it, though, and then I'll fire it the second time. So just you don't have to actually stop, but just go slower so I can get it 3 times. Yep. I'm ready, Dave.
Okay, here we go.
So the first time it fires, Dave's firing it because he has the flash set on first curtain sync.
Here we go.
There we go. All right, we may have, all right, that's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. All right, that's fine. Start maybe with the chin a little bit, oops, a little bit higher. We're just gonna go for 3, do not be crazy. All right,
You sure that one on?
I'm at 4.6. Yeah, go ahead and fire, you'll see. When you shoot it, it'll go up. Ooh, I don't think I got the third one in.
Got 3.
Did I?
You get the first, and then your opponent's 2.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, but I only see
Yeah. It's too similar, too close together.
too similar, too close. So go like this instead. Like kind of up and at an angle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this one?
Yeah, that way. Oh, from the front?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. So I can move the light to the front then, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, her turning this way.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah, you can turn to this side. But also up, down. So basically this, so, but like, yeah. All right.
Like 3?
Well, yeah, I'll hit it 3 times, but just go, you know, relatively slow. You want to be from that, when the flash fires, you want to be from there to there in 1 second.
From there?
From here
Okay.
to looking that way.
Sure.
Yep, you can do it.
Camera right there, right?
Yeah, yep. I'm ready. You guys ready?
Wait,
I don't know. Get up here. Let's do it. Wise guy. All right.
No, you'll start. How many times am I pressing? You'll start on the other
Listen, you're the expert. No. Twice, because once is going to fire when Dave does it, and then fire halfway, and then once when she's at the end.
Okay.
Complete all that within 1 second to qualify for free candy. All right, here we go.
Basically, you don't have to fire it the first time,
Yeah, don't fire it the first time.
because it does that.
Yep. And then she'll move. I'm going to have this flash additionally just because I like to mess up things up. All right. I'm ready.
I don't know what you're trying to do. Let's do it.
Nothing. Okay. No. All right, you can't fire until she moves. We're getting a lot of hair, though. Okay, so it's going to fire, then you're going to move, and then you're going to move. You got to fire it when she moves to here, and then again when she moves again. Okay? You're going to stop until he fires the flash. So don't screw it up. Okay. Let's do it one more time. No pressure. There we go. That felt good, but I don't see anything. Why didn't that?
It was after the exposure, the last one.
Oh, it happened after the exposure?
The last one there.
Yeah, the last one's after each other.
Oh, it's there.
Oh, it's in there,
Why
but
don't you have
it's...
us step more into the space and just walk from left to right or something?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do because we're not. Okay, so start here. Okay. Let's go back to this. We're gonna keep things simple. I'm sorry. Sit down 1 second. Let's get the lights back up. All right. So timing is everything here, right? So we're gonna do something a little bit more obvious because she has so much hair. We're losing her, and it's not easy to see all the things going on. Every subject you have is gonna be a little different, so you got to deal with each one separately. So just to give ourselves enough space, we're gonna have you move more laterally. So you're gonna start here, and then we need to more physically move. I need to move her more physically because when she only moves a little bit, we're not seeing it. She's getting eaten up in the hair, so she's got to be like, you know, like that, like,
Okay.
but you know, and then we can bang you across with the lights. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, and just because.
You want to put the strip box on that?
Yeah, let's put a strip box on this. Let's get a more finished shot. Let's get a little more refined here.
You don't have another grid, but
No, it's fine.
we'll just point it.
All right, we got a strip box on this. All right, here we go.
You guys are all out.
So your process is going to be to start here, and I would say look at this box just for more complete. So we're just going to do 2 exposures just to start with. So start there, and then you need to physically move your entire self to here. Yeah, in front of that one. So you're going to step out. I'll do the whole thing for you because I'm just great like that. I will show you. You're going to be here. He's going to fire it. You're going to be like, pop. Right? Just like that. Now, that should, and can we get wide enough? Okay.
And do you have a wider lens?
I do not have another lens, so put her where you need to and I'll move the lights.
point and a half, probably.
Okay, so like here, if we both stand in, you can see us both, then you'll know. Just move, look to the camera, make sure we're in the right spot first. If we're both in the shot, then you're good.
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, and then you back a little bit.
Come back to me.
Okay, you are both just barely.
Okay, just barely. So you can't go too far because that's good, and I'll move this light here. Okay. We're probably not going to be able to keep it off the background so much, but we'll give it a shot. You excited? There's going to be two of you, hopefully.
Okay.
We're going to meter them. We want to give ourselves the full 1 second. Ideally, that seems to be working for us. So go ahead and, yep, fire it. Yep, fire this one. There we go. That's okay. Fire this one. Okay, this one's at 16. So we're going to be F11. One more. Perfect. All right. This one's a tiny bit hotter, but that's okay. All right, so here we go. In an ideal world, we're going to get two of her. In a world, we're going to do it. Yeah, I think you can do it. I got confidence. Don't fall. Okay. The trick here is to not overlap, right? We have to have her not overlap with herself as much as possible because of the hair issue. All right, so just, again, we had to move the whole set, but it's basically the same thing. We've got two strip boxes. They're both equally, you talk to Dave, I'm talking to the audience. Yep, they're equally spaced apart, right? We're just trying to set her up so that when she moves, she's going to be lit more or less the same on both sides. There's two of her. We'll get that technique down first. Ideally, she's going to have a different expression too. But, you can't ask for everything the first time. I just turned that down because I use the inverse square law. We're ready, I think. Are we ready or no? Okay, we're ready. Dave's going to do it. All right, everybody, if you guys are in Vegas right now making your bets, there's pretty good odds on this one. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way too. We're not using this hot light right now because this is not doing anything. Just to not confuse things, we're basically just going with the two flashes. Basically flash, flash. What's wrong? Why do we keep turning the light back on?
Do you want me to flash it twice?
I'm going to flash this one. Yep. I'll flash it when she turns. Yep. You can also do it from the camera.
If I flash it the second time,
Okay, you could also flash
then
it.
she gets her hair gets lit the second time as well. So it's
That's
more
true.
expensive.
Okay, all right, let's do that. So, basically, Dave's going to use the remote to fire the flash both times. The reason why he's going to do that is because that way both flashes will go off both times. So she'll get hair light each time. So that's a good idea, so we'll try it. And if it ends up being a bad exposure, we'll go back to the other way. Hold on, I got to turn this back on too. Actually, it's on air. Okay, good. I'm ready. So we're ready to go. The first time the flash is fired, it's going to be at the beginning of the exposure with the normal flash. Then it's going to, yeah, they're both on 3. When the second time it fires, Dave's just going to press the test button on the remote. He's essentially just firing it manually. It should be pretty simple. In theory, I'm going to turn this guy off so that doesn't fire. And we'll be able to break this thing down. So basically, okay. Well, she's there once. That's good. We're halfway there. Yep. Slightly faster. I like the hair light and everything, though. Yep. Okay, no, maybe 1 second is not long enough. Let's give ourselves more time. Let's go to 2 seconds. Yeah, so you like that, right? She likes the long exposure. Just go for it. Yeah, we don't need to be rushed. When we got a black background, we know none of the ambient light's affecting the shot. This one? Yeah. Yeah, of course it's fine. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're 2 seconds now. Give ourselves plenty of time so you can leisurely turn around, take your time, change your
Are you
outfit.
able to do one flash in first curve and the other flash in rear curve?
Yeah, could you just do one flash in first and the other one in rear? Okay, all right, that's pretty good. That's not bad. I mean, she's kind of rolling her eyes in that first shot, thinking like it wasn't going to work. You got to have more faith here. She's like, this is not going to work. This is pretty good, though. Yeah, maybe a little bit more separation. And also, just because we don't want to just leave with just, okay, this is cool, whatever. You got 2 pictures over Daniel. I'll answer the question, I will. But I want the shoot to keep going. Let's throw a gel on one of them. Can we get the gels? All right, please. So, first curtain, rear curtain. Within this system, you can't set them like that because you're setting it at the camera. You can use something like a Pocket Wizard though. Pocket Wizard Multimax allows for a delay. So you could actually delay your flashes. So you could have one fire at the beginning and one at the end if you want, also in the middle. Let's go like contrasting colors, like maybe like, well, let's do red and blue because that's always a fun one. Or purple and purple. All right, lights are up. We're gonna make this thing work. Here we go. You ready? Wilma's excited. Vilma
Yeah.
is excited. Are you excited? Okay, good. Here we go.
There's like a pink,
We got pink.
sort of. I don't know what.
Thanks, Roscoe, for the free gels. Well, I hope they're free. I'm not gonna pay for them. All right, so we're gonna put this gel in here. This is the professional way to do it.
I stopped down to F16 and raised the power of the lights just to get the background a little more black. Again,
Oh, nice. Okay, so Dave also made an adjustment to the camera. He added more lights to or more power to the lights, and stopped down the lens to compensate for the fact that he went longer shutter. Sorry. This way, the background stays the same, right? Math happened. You guys didn't even see it. It's crazy. This is the one. Are you ready? So this side is like a greenish blue, and the other side is like pink. So we want to emote like an emoji, but you. Okay.
Real image.
All right. So this one, I think blue is more sad, or do you want to be more happy with the blue? How do you like your colors? Yeah, she's thinking about it. Sad, happy. All right, here we go. All right, we're doing it. We're going for it. One's going to be pink. Did we change power? We're going to probably dial up to compensate for the flashes.
Yeah.
Let's just meter it, because I don't want to do a test shot because we don't want to give it away. All right. Let's see. That's only 5.6. So I'm going to need, I'm going to try to get this to it myself. Where are we at, 11?
We were at 16.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, mama.
It seems like a lot more. Is that pink really that dense?
Yeah, it's a pretty dense pink.
Okay.
Oh, geez. Mama. This feels like too much power.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do a test shot. We're going to trust the meter. Sometimes light meters, no, actually, that's not too bad. It's a little overexposed, but not bad.
But I do want
All right.
now that we're
Okay, yep, let's make it look good. All right, so you see what we're going to get here. We're going to get the pink and the green-ish blue, and then where it hits the background, although it is making basically getting off the background, it's going to blend together a little bit. Okay, good. Yeah, it wasn't. It was a lot more than this time. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's try it. All right, we're just going to go for it. You get the gist of it, right?
That's right for Instagram. Look at that.
Done. This right here will get you 1 million likes on Instagram.
Boom. Followers, sponsorships.
This is basically, you throw a little filter on that, you're done.
That's a career right there.
All right. You know we're not going to leave it with this. We're going to do one other thing, aren't we, Wilma? Yes, we are, but let's do this first.
You ready?
Here we go. 2 seconds.
Get your sleeves rolled up, you magician. There you go.
Okay, that's not bad. Can we get a little more separation between the bodies? Yeah, just a little bit. All right. This one, okay, that's good. All right.
Get closer to those soft boxes on both sides, right?
Yes. Dave is asking pointed questions. Yes, I do. So if I have her spread out a little bit more, then she's going to get closer to the box, which means it's going to eat up more. It's going to be brighter. So I turned it down a little bit. Use the inverse square law. Math happened. You guys didn't see it. Okay, you ready?
And take
All right. This is going to be perfect, of course. Then we're going to add what? A constant light, right? We're going to do it. I know. It's happening. Yeah. Right? We don't know what's going to happen. Oh, it's 6:30.
Point flash in the middle.
What's that?
Flash in the middle with a display light.
In the middle?
And lean forward, like you were. So
Seth is instigating me to do it extra.
a little more forward.
You have to turn it on first.
It has to be turned on.
Right there. And then we turn around.
And then beam it down.
Right there.
Okay, that's fine. I want to make sure that's off.
So just a little bit like this.
It is beamed down.
That's
You know?
tight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect. Okay. Let me get.
Yep, perfect. Dave's going to kill when I get light on the background.
Yeah, you.
I'm going to let him do it right first.
And
I did it. I screwed it up. All right. Seth instigated me to do that.
Bounce off the floor like a mook.
All right, let's go one more time. That was good, though. Good job, guys. Here we go.
I gave you one simple thing.
All right, we're going to add a constant light to this next. So Dave's about to nail this. Then we're going to add this constant light in.
what is like you're gonna put it in the shot now?
That's what that is exactly what I'm going to do. You know that.
Let me get a good shot.
No, I know. Get a good shot first. I'm going to let Dave get a good shot first. I'm letting him do it, I swear.
And lean forward a tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And
Boom. Oh, nice. All right, that felt good. That felt very good.
There we go. That looks good.
Well done, Dave. Okay. So now, let me ruin it. All right, let's add the constant light in the center. I'm just curious. It's important when you're like messing around and doing techniques and stuff like this to like have an idea and get what you want and then make it terrible. Because you want to see how far you can push these things, right? This is really the point. This is not a client here that's oh no, we're playing, we're learning, we're trying to figure out what's going to work. So I'm going to add a hot light to the middle. I think that's going to add some like weird flairish to stuff to it. Yeah, why not do it?
you want to make it like really tungsten-y bound?
Oh yeah, really warm.
In the shot.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll make it warm
You know what? We can move the camera
and we'll move the camera at the same time.
so like she can be stationary but turning, and we move the camera instead of having her move.
But you'll have to pan like inside the camera. You'll be able to just twist it because otherwise it won't be lined up. You'll have to handhold it to do that, I think.
Yeah.
All right. All right, this is getting really complicated. Let's do a stationary one first, though. All right, so the important thing here is to turn the light on.
Like you're plugged in.
Okay, the on-off button doesn't seem to do it. Random lights laying around the space are probably not what I should.
Plug in the floor.
We are using the plug in the floor, yes. Let's stop using that. There's an entire power strip over here hidden. All right, did that work?
Okay.
Fantastic. All right, here's the light. It's behind her. Remember, we're doing a 2-second exposure, so we'll see. We'll probably have to dim that thing way down. Way down. So now, we're gonna have the colored lights, and then we're gonna have the hot light behind her. Let's do the exact same technique first. Oh, look at you. And then we'll do the more complex camera movement. Probably might not work, testy thing. Questions before we wrap, because we're getting close to the end. They're going to throw me out soon. Nope, nothing?
Same thing?
Yeah. Yep, same thing. Let's just see what it looks like with the light behind her. Yes, question from the back.
What lens is he shooting?
What lens is it? It is the 90mm 3.2. You're welcome. Other questions? No? Okay. We got it. This is it, man. This is the shot. This is the one. You ready? You came all this way for this moment. This is the moment. We've nailed it. Oh.
it's because it was exposing through the
Yeah.
portions of space.
If you want, we can lower
How
it
did that
a
come
lot.
in front?
Well, I would drop it out of frame and put it up in the lighter air. And
That
fire out.
is perfect. So,
How did that happen?
thanks for coming, guys.
No, just
How did that happen?
How is it in front of her?
How is it in front of her? Is it really in front of her, though?
I don't know.
Is the dress
Looks
blue?
like it.
Okay, so what's happening is, during the first part of the exposure, right? The first part of the exposure, meaning when she's standing here, all of this is exposing. Then when she moves, the second half of the light exposes, so we see both parts of it. And because she is such a great model, she got the whole light revealed. They planned that the whole time. Okay, so let's go low with it.
Are we down to 1?
Oh, I meant low, like physically, because that's going to happen
Yeah,
no matter
yeah,
what we
yeah,
do.
okay.
Yeah, let's just light her with it as opposed to having it in the shot, because that might be a, we should have started that 20 minutes ago shot. All right, so I'm going to spin this around.
I just gave you new paper.
What?
I cut the paper to give you fresh paper.
I know, I'm not touching the paper. The paper's fine.
You want to use the other stand?
That would be easier. Perhaps I should use a shorter stand.
No, we need that.
Oh, you need a knuckle for it? Okay.
This goes
Oh, I see, it's got a stem. Gotcha, nice. So this is a pretty cool little light that was just sitting here that I decided to use spontaneously, which often happens. Nice. Awesome. Nice, all right, so we're gonna light up, we're just gonna add a little bit of glow, blurry glow, glowy blur to her.
So we can probably crank it up a little bit too.
Yeah, we'll definitely crank it up. Okay.
It's also going to hit the background.
That's okay. I like it. Let's try that. I don't know where to put it because we have to do a test shot to see. So let's just do a test shot. We're going to do a shot. All right, here we go. I'm just going to stay here, partially because it's very comfortable, and partially because I'm sure that this is not going to be right the first time, because I have such confidence. Tilted towards the background, you thinking?
What?
Towards her. What?
Towards her.
Tilted towards her more. Okay.
Like, move it against the background and point
Like
it.
getting like the hair on her shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm riding the C-stand.
Like,
Oh, like almost flat?
yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh,
All right,
Yeah. And
I
so
don't
it's
know.
like it's just lighting,
okay.
okay.
right?
All right, go for it.
There's no way
Let's
you
see. I don't know.
It's your world.
I don't know. There's a lot of chefs here.
I don't
All
want
right.
to in your dreams, you know?
Seth is that guy that makes like a wise ass comment about what you should do and then doesn't tell you what he means.
Oh, like you did on 3 of my demos.
Yes, like I do to you. Yes.
Hey, bring a light. Hey, bring
It's important to mess with other photographers. It's part of the thing. All right, so we're doing a little test.
What? Oh, she didn't step over.
Yeah, you gotta give yourself some space. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's bright enough. What are you shooting at, f/16? Right, we're shooting at f/16. Let me use the light meter, 2 seconds. Yeah, no, it says 22, all right. All right, there should be an exposure there, let's see. 22,
What?
that's what it says.
Well, at 2 seconds, which is not staying still for 2 seconds, so.
Yeah, indeed. I also think that it's not hitting her high enough. It's too low, I think. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's too low. That's what I thought. It's just not hitting her enough.
Yeah. You can't turn it vertical, right?
I can do anything I want.
Yeah, let's see how it looks. Okay.
That's going to be in the shot.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'm sure.
I didn't know, Dave. I'm sorry.
I know, Winter. I know that's how I had it before, and then they made me change it. Remember that? That's okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not the kind of person that will say anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. All right, let's.
Background.
No.
Background.
All right, let's go. Here we go. This is it. We're getting a little bit of fiery glow down there. Oh, interesting. We got like a weird, like overexposed Polaroid look to it because it's flaring the lens. I love it.
That sounds very
I tell you what, I'll hold the flag back there just to block it a little bit, and then just
The background?
yeah, and then just do a step because it goes dark. You'll see the blur. Yeah.
All right, I don't know. They got something going on here. I'll see you guys later.
But I was trying to stop the scroll in the background.
Yeah, I know, but if you do this, you won't have that still. See?
That's where we gotta be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to do more of a step.
But I see the flag. You gotta bring it down.
Well, you won't really see it. Should we walk?
Okay, here we go. Let's just make it happen because these guys are like, what are you doing over here? We've lost control. The whole thing has just gone insane at this point. We really don't know what's happening anymore. So what's part of the fun of this, though, is really this part of it, right? We're getting into that, like, oh, interesting. It's kind of, okay, if you could do one more, but really flip your head hard as you turn.
Okay.
Like, I want to see that hair go. Yeah, all right. Okay, so part of the fun of this is just messing around, right? And we've reached that point. Maybe it's not as fun as sitting in the audience, but you know, that's even Seth, who got up off his chair now is involved, right? Because we're just kind of playing around.
I'm that lazy. I'm like, oh.
I'm not saying you're lazy, but like you're like, oh, you see potential for, oh, okay.
Hair, the second.
A little too much hair. Let's try that again. That's cousin it thing. Which one is the hairy one? One of them's a hand.
Yeah, cousin.
Hey, okay, I got it right. Okay. I wasn't a big Addams Family person. I'm sorry. I was much more of a Munsters. Okay, almost. One more. Let's get it. This one's for the children.
Has to whip here. It goes in front of her. It's not even touching this light.
Yeah, the hair has to whip on the other side of you. So start with your hair. Well, how are you gonna do that?
What?
How is she gonna whip her hair like that? Yeah, like that.
Exactly.
That's how you gotta do it. Wasn't that a song?
But then start with your face. Yeah, like that.
What's this
Whipping
one
your hair.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. There we go. I see you were right away. You're like, oh, I get down to that one. All right. I feel like something happened there. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, this is something. And I mean, being something is all we really care about at this point. It's not too bad. We're getting an interesting effect. Grow with this stuff, right? You could just keep adding layers and layers to this. Essentially, we're lighting our hair so our hair is blurry, right? Blur in between. That's all this this ambient light affecting it. Then we have the flashes, which are freezing her on either end, right? Because none of that ambient light is touching her at all on that side, right? It's behind her, right? So she's frozen there. So you have nice, crisp, clean, kind of, you know, perfect Instagram shot for you right there. You know, over here, we have the blur in the middle, right? So we're just combining things and making them. Oftentimes when we do this class, I bring like a much wider lens. I don't know why I didn't do that today. And we give the model lots of space to move. You know, give the person room to move around, mess around, mix the lights together to create different effects. Because I think that's really the point of this one. It's kind of like, okay, I know how to light something and make it even and flash like we did at the beginning and kind of compose it. Now, how do I do that in like kind of a fun way? Now, can we manage one more with her perfectly still? This is a hard one. We could try to do the hands.
Oh, we did this together.
Yeah, we did do it together.
Yeah.
I don't know about
TV.
space.
We can just do two. If she's in the center.
Okay.
Well, the
Oh,
action
yeah,
going on.
yeah, kind of like that, right? And you're going to go.
Let me just show you how we're doing
All right, so we're going to try one more where she stays relatively stationary and she's going to move her hands. Yeah, but you got to be away from your body like this, and you're gonna move them. Probably like this is the best way to do it, I think. Right? I don't know the frame, so you have to tell me if that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Essentially, we need room for her hands to be repeated.
Okay, so it would be like this.
Oh, okay, so super close, like this. Okay, no, this is cool. There's 2 seconds. You're gonna vogue. You go boom, 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 boom. Like, can you do that? No, she's gonna vogue it out. We got it. No, that's what we're gonna do. She's gonna be like, woof, boom. That's the 2 shots. Hey, stay focused, people.
I like this one.
You know, no, that's not gonna be anything. That'll be terrible.
That was such a Dave answer. Like, it was,
All right, here we go.
like actually,
Let's get some light on you. Hold on. So before we do anything, let's get a half and half shot. Where are you going? Stay in your spot. All right. So don't move yet. We're just gonna get a shot where she's evenly lit, half and half, with the two colors. You keep it off the background? Okay. All right, so we're evenly lighting her more or less? Yes.
Even?
Somebody's asking me a question, yes. Is that you?
No, the gel fell off.
Okay, perfect. I'll fix it, thank you. The gel fell. You get some extra candy. No, it's fine. All right, I want a clip.
You want to be a tough guy, be a tough one. Now you're going to live another 20.
All right, so we're gonna clip this thing on here. The plan here is we just create a, hold on Dave, there's no gel on there yet. We're just gonna create an even light across her face. And then because we have 2 seconds, which is a tremendous amount of time, we're gonna do multiple hand positions.
Okay.
Yep, so just start with just a straight shot because I wanna make sure it's evenly.
Yeah.
So just look right at the camera, just remain still for 2 seconds. Actually, isn't that what my mother used to say to me? Can you stay still for 2 seconds? Now we'll see how that works. Okay, perfect. Oh, that's weird. Did the other gel fall off too? Could I have another clip, please?
Well, did you put a clip on it?
No, I didn't have any clips. There were no clips available given to me.
Oh my God. You want to hear the tape?
My kingdom for a clip. There we go.
All
right. All right, here we go.
I gotta get out the bag of those.
These are very specific photo clips that we use. Not from the dollar store at all. Those ones aren't the right f-stop. All right, let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna poof, right? Half and half face.
Sorry, Dave.
Oh, and with the lights on, so that's pretty cool. You see what happens when you don't turn the lights off. It gets very bad. All right.
The light's still on.
The light is still on. You got to appreciate Dave. All right, let's go. One more. I turned down the power of the pinky. Pinky in the brain. All right. So, yeah, she has a lot of space. Like a T-Rex or something.
Flip her arms.
Okay, there we go. That's perfect. Now, because remember, we're going to multi-expose. So we're going to do dead, keep your face as straight as possible. You're going to do 2 exposures. One like with the hands, and then,
Okay.
but close. Look at how close the shot is. Yep, exactly. Close, and then opposite. Poof, exactly. All right, here we go. This is the shot. I know. Listen, you get what you pay for. All right, here we go. Last shot. We're gonna nail this. 2 seconds, multiple hands, green and pink. Done. Right? All right, but what happened there? She moved her face. Don't move your face. Keep your face in one spot.
That's racist.
Oh, all right, that's pretty good. See, that's good. You got a little creep going on. Actually,
Oh, I think, yeah.
Yeah, try to keep just like.
yeah, and don't change your expression. You have to be completely stiff in the face. You can't change it all.
Yeah.
That's so hard to do.
Like the old times when they did
Yeah.
the like 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's kind of demonic. Okay.
Actually, you should go behind her with your hands and let her stay completely still.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right, so, oops. One final thing. That's pretty awesome. Last one.
Oh, look at you. Going Argentinian style.
I'm going Argentinian style.
You're in the shot then.
Okay, that's okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna let you go with it. Because you're there.
Am I still in there?
Back up a little bit.
I can't possibly be in the shot.
Just go this way. This way a little bit.
But I'm not behind her then. Is he trying to get me to not shoot the flash? I still did it. Yeah, but it's still there and it's awesome. There we go.
Trying to get him in the shot completely.
And look at that. Look at that freak. All right, so again, this could be whatever. Maybe this is for the Sandman. You can turn the lights back on, please, Seth.
It could be double backlight.
I could double back later. Oh God. Okay, hold on.
There we go.
You want to move the lights because it's in your path.
Why don't you just turn that light on?
It doesn't
drag it anyway.
It won't. No, because then it'll be. Come on. Our hands will be blurry if we do that, Seth. All right, here we go. I am gonna run through. God. Actually, I gotta put this on. Hold on.
Okay.
So that way, the first time it fires, you're on first curtain, right?
Just flash your face.
Okay, so Dave is in first curtain, which means that the first time it fires, it'll be Dave firing it, and then I'm gonna run over like a maniac. All right, here we go.
Okay. And then keep your face stationary. Go nice and smooth with the movement.
I think I was totally in it. All right, I will try to be faster. Hold on. I forgot I had to move for a second.
Just do it. No.
Oh no, there can't be another light.
Here we go.
Because I choose to run.
All right, that time I just tried to get my, that's not terrible, right?
You could be in the shower. That's like,
What am I doing with it?
You gotta point it at the back of her head. All right, here we go. We're using 2 because otherwise Seth will make fun of me.
I was
All right. Whoop. All right. No, you don't have to do anything. Dave's got it.
you're on.
We're at the same power, so we should be good. Although I kind of like them in the shot. Let's do them in the shot.
Yeah.
I do, it's cute.
You like that, so for you, we'll do it, Winter.
So then lower.
Me?
Yeah. No, not that much. And then to my left. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah, so right now we've got 2 of these going on. So we're gonna do a little double backlight. We also have them in the shot, so hopefully this will look awesome and not, oh, that's pretty good, except you moved your face.
It's like
Let's try to not move your face now.
a car coming out on the freeway. This is like a late 80s horror movie nightmare.
We got this, we got this.
Now when I fire, what if you guys move like drastically with the lights? Because you're not going to keep it in the same position, you know?
Well, it's not, it is firing twice.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize it was firing twice, okay.
Yeah.
Up and down?
Yeah, you'll move it down or something.
Yeah, okay, I will also move it down. Yeah, this way we're together. Oh, yeah, there you go. All right, so I know 15 minutes ago you were like, this is a nightmare, but in the end, right, combining everything together. Thanks, Winter. You didn't try to steal it just like most people do. Thanks, Seth.
I am honest.
I know you're honest. So hopefully this was kind of fun. I did this one kind of at the end of this run of all this like really technical classes that we did. Because this is always just fun just to mess around with stuff, right? To see like what you can do and what you can create. And actually, this is not terrible. This is not terrible. It's always important to give compliments to the model.
Yeah, that's why we're giving it's a master. When you were firing this, you were firing the flashlight again.
I wasn't pressing it. Dave was pressing it twice. Okay. Seth's over here criticizing me. You see him? You see that? You see what I get? Okay. So, anyways, that's kind of the point here. This is why we do this class. It's really fun. Hopefully you got something from it. I will be back on July 12th, so you get a month off. But follow me on my channel, Daniel Norton Photographer, on YouTube and Facebook. And I do a bunch of stuff with Seth on 1200sessions.com. You can check that out, where he harasses me a lot. It's kind of fun.
You stepped on my print.
I did step on his print. So beyond that, Adorama has Inspire Week in 2 weeks. There's tons of things going on, and I'm somehow part of that.
You're on a panel.
I'm on a panel one day. It's on the Wednesday. So you guys can see that. That should be fun. Mark Wallace is going to be here, and Gavin Hoey, and Tamara Lackey, and Dave.
The 25th through the 1st.
So 25th through the 1st. It'll be super fun. Come down and see all that goodness.
Is that what it is?
It's the last week of June.
Okay, whatever. You'll figure it out. Go on to adorama.com/events. I'll be back on July 12th, so mark that date. Don't plan on getting married that day or anything like that. And if you do, remember you can watch it on Facebook. So,
But go to your channel.
but go to my channel in between because we're doing something. We got something planned.
We got videos already done.
We got videos done. So yeah, we got some fun stuff coming on for you guys. Thanks for coming, guys. Yes.